Hey everybody, how you doing? I hope you're well. Wow, what a incredible debacle. What an incredible situation Oakland is in with just poorest leadership ever. Okay, there's no other way you can put it. But even in the days where you and I would talk about, okay, mayor, pick the mayor. Even Jerry Brown had his mistakes, right? But Ron Dellums or Gene Kwan, which, was kind of the beginning of the end of the really great mayors we had. And then Libby Schaff, my god sister, who started off her first term really going gangbusters. And then the middle of that first term just went to a lower gear and then kept going into a lower gear and then kept going into a lower gear. But now we've got Oakland Mayor Sheng Thao, who I've known for like 9 years now, who went into an even lower gear even before she became mayor, and then just went into an even lower gear than that if it was possible to do so. And now she's at this point where, when it is clear the city as a whole screwed up a grant application when it should have been using the enhanced infrastructure financing district legislation program to get tax increment financing to then fuel the funding for business improvement districts, which are by their design charged with providing security. Okay. Security. Okay. Security for those areas. Okay. And could have gotten more than that grant would have promised. Instead of doing it that way, has the Economic and Workforce Development Department, for some particular reason, go after this grant. Now, you would say for some particular reason, it has to do with economic development and safety, yes. But grants are commonly handled by the chief administrative officer office even today, because there is a position open for deputy city administrator, and that person has to have some grant writing familiarity at least. That's the CAO's office. All right. But what does Shang do instead of just making the whole thing easier and saying, well, you know what? The charter says that I hire the city administrator, so really the buck stops with me. She doesn't say that. What does she do? You got to hear this, folks. You got to absolutely wrap your mind around what I'm about to show you and what she did. This is a watershed moment, a sad one in the history of the city of Oakland. My friend Raj Mathai was interviewing her. He had done so before and let Shang get away with basically saying that the A's came up with a $670 million infrastructure cost the city really came up with. That's a whole other story that I'm still vexed about. But my point is, we're coming right now back to this discussion. Listen to this.
Mayor Sheng Thao, Mayor Thao, nice to have you back on the program. I know you agree with me on this. This is the kind of stuff that makes people so angry. Money that should be coming to Oakland, but some department, the EWDD, drops the ball. Is this emblematic of how the city is run?
That is a question for the city administrator, and he is open to answering that. We are having internal conversations as well to ensure that this doesn't happen again. But I would definitely urge you to reach out to the city administrator.
Now let me stop right there. Okay. She hired Jestin Johnson 4-5 months ago, the new city administrator. Worked in Atlanta here for a spell. It's from around here, as I understand it. I don't know the man. All I know is that Gene Hazzard, activist, went through all of the applications for city administrator, and Gene called and told me that my application, is incomplete as it was because I didn't fill out the supplemental, was still better than the guy she hired. Heh, I'm in the top 15 of 79 applicants. Where did this guy fall? Top 30? My whole point is she hired somebody she liked. Everybody's like, oh, we like him. We like him. Great. But look, you don't hire somebody, and maybe we now see why she hired him. Oh, he's from outside. So he is going to have the right temperament, knowing he's an outsider when Sheng does what she just did. Throw him under the bus. You see in the thumbnail, I have what? I have a school bus. Yeah, a school bus running over Mr. Johnson with Sheng over the school bus as if she's driving the bus, because she is. Yeah, she is. I mean, let's continue here. Raj doesn't challenge her once again. He tries to come at her, but Raj doesn't know the city, because he could have said, wait a minute, doesn't the buck stop with you? Didn't you hire the man? Let's listen to this.
Administrator's office.
You get the frustration, though, people saying, okay, go to this person, go to that person, just the frustration of millions of dollars that could be coming to your city?
I hear the frustration. We are having those very tough conversations internally. The city administrator manages the whole city, all the departments, and so he would be the key person to actually connect with around information around this topic.
Is it safe to say that changes will be made?
There's definitely going to be some changes made to ensure that this doesn't ever happen again, and they're already underway.
Mayor Thao, another big headline for you, the ongoing search for a new police chief. The police commission says it's going to have names of candidates for you by next month. The commission also tells us, though, that you refused to meet with them for 2 months, which delayed the process. A lot of finger pointing here. Is that accurate, and why?
Absolutely not accurate. I have met with the police commission chair multiple times. It's unfortunate that it has to come down to this. I'm excited for the 2 new commissioners that will be sworn in and approved. I know that currently right now, the chair of the police commission has not been reappointed by a selection panel, which is made up of citizens as well. The police commission itself is made of citizens, as you know. We also have a selection panel that's made of citizens, and so it wouldn't be the first time that we've heard that the chair of the police commission is creating more hurdles than anything else. And for me, again, Oakland is first priority, and we need a really great police chief. And if we're going to have
you had one in Lerone Armstrong, okay? You had one in Lerone, but listen to this, okay? She throws, you see, it's always somebody else. Listen to this. It's always somebody else. Okay. It's always somebody else. I mean, seriously. Okay. I mean, it's always somebody else. Well, that person's fault. Well, isn't it? It's always the buck never stops
police
with
chief
her.
Want to come to the city of Oakland, we have to make sure that they are able to work with the commissioners. And so I'm excited again to welcome the new police commissioners onto the police commission.
All right, so just a lot of backbiting here. You've said that you would call a state of emergency if you don't have a police chief, a new chief, by the end of this year. Why wait for the next several months? Why not just call the state of emergency right now?
I am going to call a state of emergency if I don't get the top 3 names by the end of the year. And the reason why I'm holding off and giving them this time is because this is the charter mandate, and I respect the charter mandate. It's a ballot measure that was voted by the people. However, because of all of the infighting with the chair and the and the other commissioners, this has really stalled the process. And so unfortunately, if they don't get their act together by the end of the year and forward to me the top 3 names, this is their mandate, then I'm going to call a state of emergency so that I can actually institute that mandate myself.
Final question for you. When was the last time that you communicated with Dave Cavill or John Fisher of the A's?
It remains the same. I haven't spoke with Dave Cavill and John Fisher since they've let me know.
They don't want to talk to her enough. Okay. They don't want to talk with her. That's why. Okay. This is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. All right. And see, if Raj knew, which obviously he didn't, that Sheng hired the CAO, okay, he could then say, wait a minute, this all stops with you. And then if he really knew that Sheng met with me privately February 2nd of 2022 because she wanted to learn about enhanced infrastructure financing district legislation and tax increment financing that comes out of that, which would then be used to fund the business improvement districts, which do what? Which make sure that there's extra security around the businesses in those areas in Oakland. That's what they do. That's their charge. Okay. That's why they were set up. And that's historically what they've done in Oakland. All right. Okay. If Raj knew all of this, he could then say, oh, how come you just didn't do the idea that you secretly met with Zinni Abraham about, but then you gave him homework and didn't want to hire him. And then when he didn't want to make the meeting secret, you stopped talking with him and stopped granting him interviews. All right. That would have made her head spin. She would have been flipping in her chair like, oh my God, I've been found out. But no. All right. No. This is absolutely ridiculous. I'm calling my friend, okay, right now. See if, first of all, my friend might be available. Well, you know what? I'm not going to do it that way. I am. Because if I haven't had this person on for some time, and I think they'll be pleased as punch to know that I'm, getting them reach out. Let's see what happens. Hey, how are you? Oh, thank you. Oh, my Lord. You will, I hope, love why I'm calling you. I'm actually making my video about Sheng. And I thought, wait a minute, and this is what I'm saying. And I found this interview she did with Raj Mathai of NBC Bay Area, and she's throwing Mr. Johnson under the bus. And so, can I get you to comment real quick on online? Okay. I did not. Wait a minute, they took my advice. I gotta put this on. Hold on a second. Hold on. Oh, hey, tell them the news. This is Nancy Sidebotham, folks. Tell them the news, Nancy. I said to the police commission they should bring him back. That's what I said.
Letter just came out. That was just sent out by email by Mr. Yun. Report rejects conclusion of outside investigation into reform. Former chief hearing officer calls report problematic and largely unreliable. Commissioners to consider him a potential shortlist nominee to be sent to the mayor. Somebody's finally getting it together in this city that's going down the cesspool drain fast.
Hey, Nancy, do you think somebody saw my video?
Hey, I think a lot of people are starting to realize that this city's been screwed over by a few people that have been running the city.
Yep.
And my question is since Jerry Brown, where is all the money that Oakland's been bringing in going?
Yeah, absolutely. But
there needs to be an outside audit by the state of California, and Newsom and the Attorney General need to get the hell out of the way and let somebody do a damn audit on this city, so we can find out who's been putting money in whose pocket and where the money's been going, because it sure hasn't been going into Oakland.
No, it hasn't, and it's tragic. And what's and equally bad. So, because Raj Mathai doesn't know Oakland, he says to Sheng, "So, what's the deal here?" And she basically says, "Well, You have to go in and ask my CAO. Now, if anybody knew Oakland, they would say, wait a minute, didn't you hire the guy? Doesn't
Hey, the guy, hey, look at the screw up with them missing out on the money that should have come in here to fight, to figure out how to fight crime regarding what's happening to all the businesses in this town.
Yeah, that's what the news report was about. And
Well, but the whole thing is, everything that has been happening. And Rebecca's running the city behind the scenes, and she's been screwing Oakland up ever since she's been in office.
Oh, I'm sorry. This is like,
And between you and me, am I online right now?
yeah.
Well, I want to say it online just now. We'll talk later about that.
Okay. But the
name of the game is the city has been screwed over. We have no leadership. Nepotism has taken over.
Yep.
All the people in the city that have any knowledge in historical anything have all gone. What few are left, they're just holding on until they decide what the hell they're going to do so they don't lose their pension, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And nobody knows how to run this city. And everybody, the citizens are paying the price. We have less than 400 officers. They've been lying to us because they don't want to drop the property taxes on the measures that are covered by how many police we have. There's a whole bunch of stuff that's going on in the city, and people need to wake up and clean house.
Yes, absolutely. Oh, big time clean house. Yeah.
The property owners that own property that have tenants have been screwed over royally.
Yep.
Because we have people in the city that they've hired that are, where's the money going? The homeless are out of control. And we have ACE and all these groups in here that have been put in positions of authority in the different departments in the city attorney's office, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, at the expense of the people that have owned property in this town that are getting screwed over.
Yep. Big time. Couldn't have said it better myself.
And they're not finished. They want to try to bring TOPA back. They want to try to bring all this other stuff back and continue to control how people run their businesses and people that own property that have tenants. That is a business.
What's TOPA? Tell my viewers.
TOPA has to do with, I don't know the whole thing. I know that it failed in Washington, D.C. That's where it started.
Mm-hmm.
And they revamped it. But the way Oakland is trying to set this up, and Berkeley, they blew it out of Berkeley real quick. But Berkeley tried to bring it in, but Oakland has not a clue what they're doing, and the nonprofits are pushing it big time. They want to control how the landlords handle their properties and who can buy it and how it's set up.
Ugh.
That's a rough statement on that. There's more to it, but with everything else that's going on, I'm all over the place in how dysfunctional every single part of this city has become.
No, it's awful. And like with Howard Terminal, turned out that Molly Rayburn, the project manager, started looking for a job way back in February, and they just held her out there as sort of a ghost, knowing full well that she had actually really quit, or they couldn't pay her is what happened. And so then they trot her out to Major League Baseball's commissioner, 3 months ago now. And
of course, because Sheng's playing games, she's trying to make people think she's doing something.
Yeah, that's all she does. She plays games all the time.
But remember, who's leading the pack? Who did she work for?
Rebecca. She worked for Rebecca. Yeah.
And Rebecca's finally got herself in a position where she's running Oakland behind the scenes.
Yeah. Now I gotta be.
Is she gonna try to run for city attorney?
Yep. I gotta be 100% though.
Courtney has not done one monetary
Not at all.
Oakland in
Not at
this
all.
city.
I gotta be 100% though on the air though. I have to say Rebecca came through for me with respect to the rent situation, so I got the back rent or getting the back rent that I'm due, because I texted her and I said, hey, I got a problem here now. And she got backs to work. So I got to on the air give her the credit where credit is due. Although I agree with you that Rebecca needs to be more open up. She needs to be that person. We need that leader, because Rebecca's
not a leader. Rebecca is a user. Rebecca's not a leader. She talks a good talk only to pretend that she knows what she's talking about, and she's done absolutely nothing in the city. I'm owed $34,000 by my tenant.
Whoa.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And the person that is owed over $120,000. People are losing their homes because of this screw up. And when you make a law, you make the law that's going to cover the people that are going to need that law. You don't make it blatantly so the people that can pay rent can get away without paying.
Right. Right.
There's a lot of issues going on, and that's the incompetence of all those people on the council. And the fact that they have 5 to 6 votes and can do whatever they damn well please, they don't even have to hold council meetings because they're going to do whatever they damn well please because they've got the votes. And now they're getting a little nervous because guess what? Next year's an election year. And
Yeah.
they're trying to make it look like they care about the community until after they're reelected because Oakland has a problem with incumbent elections instead of doing the right thing and looking at who's actually running and what they can do for Oakland and what they have been doing for Oakland.
Hey, Nancy,
There's
have
a
you,
lot
have
of
you,
things that need to be looked at, and we've got serious problems because the voters don't do their homework.
have you reached out to Rebecca for help on that rent matter? Because she helped me. I reached out to her personally, so I have to be honest. She really did come through. So
And, you know, my reaching out is one thing, but she needs to fulfill that for everybody that lost rent.
yeah, she
in
did.
this
She
town,
really did.
and
She
not
did.
just me.
She did unlock
And
it.
they're not doing that because you know something?
Mhm.
They don't care about the people that own property.
Right. Well, I have to give her credit though. She did unlock the housing is key because Nancy, those people in Sacramento were they were hindquarters people to deal with. Okay. And they
I
kept
understand.
saying, oh, the Oakland has
I
its own
understand.
program and everything. And I said, you don't understand. And the city attorney's office agreed with me saying, hey, you guys aren't reading the law right. But I have to give Rebecca credit. She brought up as a council issue. She got them to pledge to unlock it. And apparently and I can say that's what they're doing on my behalf. Okay. So if they're
Well-
doing it on my behalf, I'm sure they'll do it on other people's behalf too. Not just
Well,
me.
let me explain. I did get $26,845 back from the state the first time around, and that's only because I happened to email Nancy Skinner's office saying, "Hey, what's going on? I haven't heard anything." And next thing you know, I got a check in the mail. But I still owe $34,000 since then.
Jeez Louise. Well, hey, maybe you should like call Rebecca the same way you call Nancy Skinner.
Hey,
I mean, I hate to
it's
say you have to
entertainment.
do it. You shouldn't have to do that, right? But you
No,
have to.
Nobody should have to.
Right. No, I
Nobody
mean,
should
it
have to.
shouldn't.
If you're working and you're writing these laws and you're playing it out fair, the fact that Oakland right now is trying to come up with a scheme on how to get Newsom to give them the money that they missed the deadline on.
Oh,
Any of us that don't file our taxes on time and we owe money, we get dinged. The name of the game is I can't write the IRS and say, "Oops, please help me out." This has got to stop. These games have got to stop. We've got incompetence sitting on the council. We've got followers that shouldn't be there, that don't know the first thing about what they're doing. And there's only one person that keeps speaking up, and it's unfortunate that he's the only one on there. And that needs to change.
yep. Yeah.
Now, when we're talking about recalls and all that kind of stuff, people can't get their act together on that. We need to get rid of ranked choice voting. That is screwing everything up.
Oh, I heard
Because
the
it
latest on
allows
that
you to
recall.
open it
I think.
for good.
Did you see what Lynn Raphael wrote about the recall update?
That shit, I think it's almost out there. I'm not quite sure whether it's out there or not.
No, he
But
said
that's Pam, and you know something? That's taking away of what's really going on in Oakland.
I agree
They
with
keep
you.
blaming
Yeah,
Pam for everything, and
Yeah, Pam is not
to be
right.
blamed for it.
that's true. I agree with you there. Yeah,
We
Pam is
have-
right.
we
I
have
agree with you.
laws. There are state propositions that since Jerry Brown that have been passed by Sacramento and us, the voters.
Mm-hmm.
47 being the last one, that is giving Pam the tools to do what she's doing.
Yep.
Whether I agree with what she's doing or not, that's another story. But we keep saying Pam's to blame for everything. The police do their job. It's the DA's office to prosecute. And the judges need to hold us accountable, and they're not doing their job.
Nope. Not at all.
So
Hey.
there's a lot of stuff going around, and you know something? That's the times we're in, because with COVID coming up, it has opened a whole new world that most of us haven't a clue where it's going.
Scary, ain't it?
It's scary.
Nancy, I'm gonna call you back after I'm done. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Hey, Nancy Seiboth, and she ran
Are
for.
we finished yet?
Not yet. I'm still on the air. That's why I was gonna say I'll call you back.
Okay, call me back. All right.
Okay. See you.
Bye.
All right. See you. All right.
Okay.
I see it. That's the Nancy Side Bottom, longtime friend of mine who ran for Oakland City Council. Well, she's ran for mayor, City Council at large, City Council District 6. Has yet to grab the brass ring, but always on top of things. A landlord. So there you go. That gives you a picture of what the heck is going on. And yeah, the news is the police chief, all right? The police chief was cleared by the arbitrator. I called for the police commission. Yeah, to recommend the rehiring of Lerone Armstrong. He is one of the top candidates. You heard Sheng say that she can't wait to get that list of candidates. Oh, I love this so. I'll be back. Subscribe to Zenny62 and bookmark oaklandnewsnowblog.com. And please, hey, donate, by the way. To what we do here. Keep us going. At PayPal. Can do that. But subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe and like this and share it. Like this and share it around. I'll be back. I'll see you.